Play something nice. Play something nice. I'm here today with
Steadman.
Stone Steadman. How you doing today? We're right here on Avenue 26. I seen you playing your guitar. And how long have you been playing music?
Well, I grew up playing music.
Since you were a kid?
Yeah.
Is that something your father taught you?
My father, God rest his soul, was not as present at the upbringing as, you know, as a real, like, Rock of Gibraltar type father would have been or could have been. But, I'm not saying nothing against him, I'm just saying, because of the dynamics in my family, you know.
So you grew up more with your mother?
No. Well, let me tell you what. My father, in 1947, was getting off the boat in Morocco. And as he was walking through town, he saw my mother in the window. She was really beautiful. She won second place in Paris for the most beautiful woman in the world. So they fell in love. He married her. Took her to America, had 2 kids. Divorced her in America, sent her back to Morocco. Now he's in America, she's in Morocco with 2 kids. A couple of years later, he regrets it. He wants to go back, he takes them back. Now, what happened for the next 40 years of his life was he tortured him to death for the next 40 years of his life for what he had done to her. Which means he became a zero in the family. In other words, he dominated everything, right? And so the guy became like nebulous. And so that's what I'm trying to tell you about. He wasn't as there as he could have been if he hadn't been slighted or paid back for what he had originally done. But anyway, so where were we?
Where did you grow up?
Oh, okay. I grew up in Morocco where I learned to speak French. French was my first language. Si tu veux, on peut faire ce truc en français, et on parle en français, et puis le monde va croire que je suis français, tu vois.
So you've been speaking French for a long time, basically. You're very fluent in it.
French was my first language.
Wow, that's really nice.
And now we come to America about, must have been around 57, 59, or 60. And I see my first jar of mayonnaise and peanut butter. Because they don't have those things in Morocco and those different things, second world countries, third world, whatever. And so, and I saw my first ice or my first snow, Dickinson, North Dakota, where my dad got stationed. And so in Dickinson, I had an older brother who was the greatest guy he is the greatest guy that ever lived. He's got it way together. And he's the guy in the family that brought us all to get to know him, that there's a guy up there that's in charge. Anyway, so I grew up in Morocco where I learned French. Then I came to America and learned English. Then we went to Spain. We lived in Madrid. My dad got stationed in Madrid, and I was speaking Spanish for about 6 months. I was fluent in Spanish, so I'm fluent in Spanish and French. But what's rare about the fact that I speak languages is not that I speak the languages, but that I don't have an accent in any language. Like, let's say you're Spanish, right?
Right.
And I'm talking to you in Spanish.
You wouldn't have an accent. You wouldn't be able to tell.
English.
Wow.
Or any other language. You think
You're
I'm
American.
Spanish?
Right.
Same with French. And in English, I don't have an accent either. So what is it? What else did you want to know? So I grew up in those 3 places.
Right.
And around 69, I was in England. at the end of the subway, because the subway tunnels in England are made of marble. So when you sing, it resonates like you got natural reverb. So I worked at the end of the tunnel so they could hear my singing as they came down. By the time they got down, they already had their hand in their pocket, ready to throw something in my hat. Subway, 6 o'clock in the morning in England. 9 o'clock I was done. In the Isle of Wight, 69, Dylan headline. I was there.
Do you mind if I ask you how you became homeless?
Oh yeah. So all my life I've more or less been different. I do certain things that I really can't talk about on a public interview or anything, or wouldn't want to really discuss. They're private things in your life,
Right.
And so it sometimes it creates a rift, people get like all upset, and then you become incompatible, and then irreconcilable differences and all that shit, and it's all bullshit. But
how often do you come to this McDonald's and play?
I come here almost every day now.
Almost every day?
It's like my spot.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're like trying to do an interview and find out how a guy gets up.
Do you make any good money right here?
How he ends up on the street, yeah. I should really be on the street, really. But people have a tendency to give up on you if you don't.
You keep hanging on there.
If you don't do exactly how they relate to the world or the behavior of the world, how it should be. What was your question?
In a day, panhandling here at the McDonald's, you'll make how much?
40 or 50 bucks.
40 or 55? Wow.
40, 50, $60, it all depends. Yesterday I made $30. Two people, one gave me 20, one gave me 10. Well, because I sing,
Do you mind playing the tune for me now that I'm a little closer?
Like, for instance, I'm working on this one. Round, like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel. Never-ending obedience. Like a snowball down a mountain or a carnival balloon. On the road like an apple, running rings around you. But this is the one that blows them away, this one. And as the Lord goes insane, I hear your voice loud, but it doesn't help the wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever it takes, oh how my heart aches, I will be right here.
That is beautiful, very beautiful. And look, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just want to say, if I do post this on YouTube, will you be okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. And for your time, I'm gonna give you a couple dollars.
Hey, that's always welcome. Appreciate it.
It's not much.
Hey, it's more than I got now. Thank you, buddy. Right on.
And well, you usually come here and panhandle at the Avenue 26, right?
Yeah.
If anybody sees this video and comes around here, they'll definitely show you some love. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You have a good one, brother. Thank you. God bless you.